Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet-fighting robot series. Now, this week we may not have a lot of brand new content per se, as we kind of wrap up April here on a relatively slower note, but it may only seem like that at first, but in reality we do have quite an exciting big piece of news, and that is at last Storymode Arc 6 is finally making its grand release and launch into the game to finally kick up the story of Medarot Odyssey, Hisaki, and Cross, as well as we figure out this mysterious character that we were introduced to with the teaser. In addition to that, we do also have the third and final of the Orimeda Volume 2 winners finally making her grand debut into the game to join the other two winners. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this week's episode. I have thus named for this very reason, Strings of Fate. Starting the docket with the gacha banners, we do have quite a few this week, actually. First of which on the banner, which is the third and final Orimeda winner, as mentioned, VBT0 Colio Viola, with a kit of Charge Plant, Beam Sword, Charge Drain, Biped Legs, and the Fairy Charge leg ability. And then in addition to her, we are also highlighting and spotlights for the other two Orimeda winners, which are DRD0 Antura, the Celtic Druid Priest type, with a kit of Stealth, Laser, Field Repair, Biped Legs, and the Generator leg ability. And then last but not least, we also have CTF0 Bouquet Bride, the Cuttlefish Bridal Kimono type, with a kit of Destroy, Counter Guard, Mirror Guard, Sea Legs, and the Climber leg ability. Now, it is really, really nice to see all three of the winners together at last, especially with their brand new art. Aside from what we were given with the original artist submissions, all three of them did a fantastic job on their art, and we've been seeing quite a number of mixed success between both Antura and Bouquet Bride in current meta, as the game has proceeded since their launch. In addition to these three, we also have reruns of ever-popular KXK01 Cross Messiah Z, with a kit of Full Charge Kai, Spark Shot, Spark Strike, Biped Legs, and the Anger leg ability, and is also capable of meta change into a tank-based form, of which his kit changes entirely to Overcharge, ACG Shot, Force Control, Tank Legs, and the G-Control leg ability. And then last but not least, we also have a rerun for the mysterious Black Cat type BCT0 Noir Catsi, with a kit of Slip, Press, Break, Biped Legs, and the G-Loader leg ability. So as you see, we have a lot of gacha banners this week, a number of them actually very solid and highly, highly worth going after. Cross C, I really can't say enough as it is, but for possibly new players coming in, or anyone that is currently unsure who they should go after, my personal preference in terms of who to go after and gacha banner priority pretty much is listed here. In terms of overall viability, Cross Messiah Z absolutely tops the charts as basically your one-man Metaforce army and Metaforce Punisher, no less. Also being a very fast tank with G-Control, no less, also further bolsters his case of being one of the highly sought-after and very few models I would very easily rate a 10 out of 10 if you are a cross main. Otherwise, still very highly worth it all the same as someone worth going after. Behind him, I would consider Colio Viola as the next best in line, as her kit is pretty solid as a one-woman Metaphor Sustainer and Nuker, given that she has Charge Plant and Charge Drain, and then her main nuking skill, of course, is of course Beam Sword. Behind her would be Noir Catsi for her very solid coverage with heavy punish between both press and break, and then Slip, of course, for tripping up anyone behind. That might be a potentially dangerous foe that you want to buy some extra turns out of. Behind Noir Catsi, I'd probably give Bouquet Bride, given for her capability of being able to reflect incoming melee or shooting attacks, and of course punish with Destroy for any shielders that might be in play against her. And then last but not least, Antura, mostly for his mixed kit, making it kind of hard to use him kind of efficiently, but aesthetically he is still rocking the Druid Priest type very well, with a pretty solid, arguably one of the best right arm lasers currently in the game, all the same. But this is just my opinion all the same of who to go after in terms of the current banner, if you do decide that someone here is worth someone to invest the rubies in. In terms of fierce battles we have this week, all of them reruns, thankfully. This week we have GRM0 Wild Ukon, the Wrestler type, with a kit of Rifle, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and the Generator leg ability. Then we also have the Twin Monkeys, MON02 Kihiro Mashira with a kit of Heel Trap, Double Sword, Biped Legs, and the Spearhead Leg ability. And then, of course, MON03 Iru Mashira with a kit of Repair Plant, Double Free Shot, Biped Legs, and the Gunman Leg ability. So honestly, I'd say the Fierce Battles for this week may seem a little underwhelming at first, but there are a lot of conventional and very reliable skills all the same that can be found here that pretty much anyone can use, whether them be a veteran or a rookie alike. Kihiro Mashira, of course, for the basic sword, you generally can't ever go wrong with. And then, of course, Iru Mashira, I would actually have to rank as the MVP of the week, primarily for the viability that Free Shot has on anyone that perhaps is not using any kind of ailment nullification, whether it be the Super Armor Leg ability or anyone that's using Stat Cleanse to keep enemies at bay. But all the same, all three are definitely worth going after, at least to pick up the parts at the minimum, but I would have to give the MVP of the week to Iru Mashira at the end of the day, of course. Now, of course, with this being said, and just to highlight it again, Storymode Arc 6 will be finally revealing and launching this coming Thursday, where we will finally have a chance to learn more of the story, and for those late game players like myself, this is honestly another great chance to start stocking up on rubies as a way to replenish the lost stock that we've definitely hemorrhaged a lot of in the last several weeks and even months, with a lot of very high-end banners that have come and gone, with very little content that's been introduced in order to replenish the stock. So greatly looking forward to seeing this, as well as what the story chapters itself may possibly introduce. Given that we also were given the relationship chart in the previous weeks for other characters, I am very interested to know how this may tie in and what the ultimate outcome of the story may be, even if I do have to run it through Google Lens or DeepL just to kind of get the general context. But aside from all this, I did make a tweet about this relatively recently, but I do want to mention it officially as well for those that do not follow me. But the Chibi Medarots art that I have been working on for the last, I want to say about a month or so, Volume 2 is finally completed. This introduces another 43, 45, possibly 48, I think, further chibis to add to the pile. All of them are available for free. I'm not asking anything for them. No cost, no requirement. Or rather, the only requirement and request is that, of course, that you credit me with them if you do choose to use any. But they are all available for free in the Google Drive. I did toss them in the pile with with Volume 1. The link will be in the description below to that Google Drive, so you can go collect whichever ones that you do feel the desire to go collect or hold on to. Or collect all of them too, that works as well. Volume 3 is officially underway. I already do have a couple on starting the next canvas, and I'm always open to requests. So if you have any possibilities or requests of anyone you'd like to see, or have one sent your way as something to make use of, feel free to reach out, comment on this video, DM me on Twitter, respond to those tweets when I post updates, whatever works for you. I'm always open to requests. Like I said, I'm not asking anything for these. This is just something that I want to do for fun. And would like to give back to the Medarot community all the same with it. But moving forward, we are still continually looking for translators for the Medarot 3, Medarot Reloaded manga translation projects. The progress on Medarot 3 has been really picking up in leaps and bounds in recent, based on what I have seen of Variant, Kimballs, and all the others that are working hard on that. And I have seen Variant post updates on Twitter every here and there too with what they have finished, and it's looking fantastic, by the way. Lots of menus are currently already finished and already working, mostly just story content, I believe, at this point, aside from a handful of smaller menus that need to be cleaned and worked on. But the more help we have on that, the sooner we can have it finished and released as an official patch to join the Medarot 1 patch that has been currently out and released. So, that being said, if you are versed in any coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, we are more than appreciative of any effort that you'd be willing to provide. You can reach out to me or join us in Discord in the link provided and in the comments below. We're more than happy to get you up to speed on everything that was finished and everything that currently still needs done, because we would love to finish other projects such as Medarots 4 and 5 and Navi as very popular requests that we have been asked about and talked about in recent that we want to finish. Now, for the weekly art highlights, I actually didn't have to look too hard for this one, as these two are relatively recent pieces, both of them fantastic all the same. We have this, first of all, this wonderful piece of VAL03 Noel by Twitter user Daiju309. Fantastic piece, by the way, wonderful art of a very well-popular and well-loved community model, Noelle, for what she is able to offer and with her aesthetically pleasing design. And then, of course, next to that one, we also have a very relatively and largely unknown design. It is the Dark Knight type Untold from Medarot 4 that has seen very little art or action recently since she only appeared in one game and then sadly never again. So it is very nice to see her getting some appreciation from Twitter user Tagro Chang. So wonderful art to the both of you. Definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more Medarot art in your feed. But aside from all this, I believe that covers just about everything for this week's episode, so thanks again for stopping by, folks. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on Facebook, which has just recently about ready to crest about 1,400 members, so I'm honestly wonderfully surprised and so happy to see the continual growth of that community as time goes on. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to Project Rising Beetle's official Discord server, where we keep a closer ear to the ground on anything related to Medarot. This includes any merchandise, game updates, patch notes, manga translations, anything that we work on. This will be the first place to see it before it goes anywhere else. You can also reach out to me on Twitter personally at IsaGamiKura, so if you have any questions or feedback or comments or any suggestions for things I could cover or work on, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. My DMs are always open, so don't be a stranger. Feel free to talk to me, and I promise we'll have a very friendly conversation all the same. Do also give these friends of mine a follow as well, Callie Dory at Eru4 on Twitter, who also runs the Metabots OOC page on Twitter as well, for daily Medarot added to your feed. Callie also has been doing some wonderful work playing around with her new model, as well as with this new Curious Cat that she's been working on with her model on Twitter and with her streams. So wonderful work on there, Callie. Always love to hear more about you and your model, whenever I am able to poke my head in a stream or two. So wonderful work, great friend of mine. You can never go wrong following her or tuning into any of her streams. And do also give my buddy Eruben a follow as well for their streams as well. They also post some Medarot content every here and there and stream the OG Medarot 2 Core every once in a while, or even stream Medarot S. Also part of our wonderful community as well. So both of them wonderful friends of mine, great content, awesome buddies. Definitely give both of them a follow. You will not be disappointed. But aside from all this, I believe that covers just about everything like I mentioned. So thanks again for stopping by, folks. It's always happy to have you in for a visit. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.